and we don't second guess. Unapologetic, we're bold and we're loud, shining light on the left shady crowd. Oreo Express, rolling down the track, exposing the lies, ain't no turning back. Conservative fire, we're speaking the truth. At Oreo Express, this one's for you. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's roll, let's go. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express.
Celebrate our newest launch, Rev 7. I'm bringing you an amazing introductory offer, plus an exclusive overstock sale that you're not going to want to miss. Rev 7 is our premium energy drink that tastes great and gives you energy all day with no jitters and no crashes. That's because there's no sugar and no caffeine. I'm so sure you're going to love Rev 7 that for a limited time you can try our 3-pack absolutely free. Or check out our Percale bed sheets. I can't believe I'm even going to say this. Every color, every style, every size, only $29.88. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save 20% on our Rev 7 12-packs or try our introductory 3-pack absolutely free. And our Percale bed sheets, all sizes, only $29.88, even the queens and kings. Inventory is extremely limited, so order now.
That's right, folks. Order now. Head over to mypillow.com. They got some great deals, and it's always great to help out a Patriot company, Mike Lindell. So if you want to head over there, get free shipping and up to 50% off, please head over to mypillow.com. Use promo code Oreo. Well, hello all. Welcome back. I hope you all had a wonderful time Christmas with the families or gathering with friends. We want to say, man, it was a good one. It was a good one. We got to spend time with family, hang out. And it's just like, I tell you guys all the time, it's just so hard when I got 2 kids that are adults and working different jobs and going to college and trying to do everything and to get everybody in the same room together. It's like, it feels good. It feels good. You know what I mean? Because every time I try to plan something, I'm like, hey, I can get tickets to this movie over here. You guys want to go? One will say yes. One will say, oh, I work. And I'm like, but it was good. Caden had an absolute blast. He enjoyed himself very much. So, Christmas Eve, he was big. So we opened most of our presents because of, the way we do things. The way we've been doing it for at least since Caden's been around for the most part and is understanding Christmas is we open up most of our presents after Christmas service on Christmas Eve. And then he bakes cookies for Santa, puts a carrot outside for the reindeer. And when he wakes up in the morning, Santa's come. That's usually like his bigger gift or something that he's really wanted. We try to bring, make that from Santa. And this year he was like, it's kind of late. I think it was like 9:45 because once we got home from church service and then we got here and, all my kids and Caden were opening up the gifts. And by the time they leave and we get the cookies in the oven, it was like 9:45, almost 10. And I was showing him the Santa tracker. And so I said, Santa's in the air. And he's like, oh. And we were saying, you got to go lay down. You got to go to bed, man. I never seen this kid go to sleep so fast in my life. With all that excitement, he was like, Santa's probably on his way here right now. So we had a great time yesterday. Got to go over to my sister's house with my family and hang out, eat some good dinner. I'll tell you what, man, way too much desserts for me yesterday. Way too much desserts for me. And I hope you guys had a good time. And you know what I did get to do? We're going to talk about the California rain, Well, it didn't get hit hard in the Central Valley, not even close to it like other places. We got, I think, the first wave of the storm coming through is probably the biggest we've seen, and then it would sprinkle off, it would rain a little while, but not that bad here. Enough to, we had some not flooded streets, but puddled streets because, again, we have all the leaves that just fell, all those storm drains are clogged. But it was interesting. But I did get Matt sent me some cigars, and I Caden wanted to go outside, and the neighbor kids were outside yesterday when the rain let off, and I was like, "Oh yeah, you can go outside and play." So I got to enjoy a full stogie without interruption. I'll enjoy full stogies once in a while, but never without interruptions. So that was cool. It was cool to be able to do that. Speaking of Santa, Santa knows it's bad time. Santa probably wants the National Guard deployed. I'm just saying, check out this traffic stop right here and just listen to this. This funny looking sleigh.
Santa!
CCW, I'm not going to move until they say again.
Santa has a CCW?
Yes, sir, you have to.
Times are rough.
You got to protect me.
Are you, what's the last name? Yeah, so, you know why I'm stopping you?
I was looking down, I didn't think.
Okay,
I have no clue.
So I had, speed limit is 55.
Yep.
There's a lot of deer out here, a lot of people that are pulled right out in front
Dear Rudolph.
of you, so your reaction time is not as good as 55, correct? Santa, do you have your driver's license out?
Can I get out?
You sure can. Where you guys headed?
Right here to Delta. My daughter works with the boss wants me to come up and do Santa for kids.
Cool.
Get unlock it.
So you guys know, even Santa has a CCW, folks. Even Santa has a CCW, and I like the way the cop laughs. He goes, "Yeah, times are tough, huh? Times are hard right now." But I saw that, and then we're gonna get into some other stuff. One thing with the Trump administration, and we're gonna talk about protecting Christians on Christmas Day. But there's been a big push to bring back some faith into the White House and putting Christianity at the front and center of a lot of the holidays. You know, it's we've seen before in the last administration, the things they celebrated probably weren't the same as maybe as you were growing up, right? Take a look at this. But this is a lot of his top officials right here and what they posted on social media yesterday.
Marco Rubio saying the joyous message of Christmas is the hope of eternal life through Christ, wishing everyone a blessed holiday season filled with hope and peace. Secretary Scott Turner, who, by the way, may be the de facto chaplain of this cabinet. You see these meetings. The president asked him to give a prayer. Yesterday, he posted the infinite has become an infant. As we celebrate the birth of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, we are reminded to adopt the humility, love of neighbor, and servant leadership that Christ embodied. Department of Labor and Homeland Security also putting nice messages out.
You know what else I appreciated from what Nicki Minaj was doing is there have been church burnings all over the globe.
Look at that. So again, rejoice America, Christ is born. And you know what I didn't say? I didn't say hi to y'all, so I'm going to say some hellos 9 minutes into the show. Nola, Mater TJ, Matt, First Amendment Media, Renee, Don Patrol, Jay Lynn, B Mikey with that beautiful American flag. Thank you guys, Susan. I appreciate you guys being here. Yo Mama 52. Jen, it looks our JJEJ. That's a weird one. Thank you guys so much and appreciate it. It looks like B Mikey gifted 5 subscriptions. You guys got a Christmas present already from B Mikey. Thank you so much, B. Mikey. And again, thank all of you guys for keeping us on the air. Thank all you guys for keeping us on the air. We appreciate you. We can't do it. You know, I've been thinking about as we get closer to 2026 and we got the primaries, it's going to be a crazy year. We're going to need lots of prayers. Pray for this country, but we're going to have to take action. Whatever that means from where you're sitting right now, if that means going to your city council, board of supervisors meeting, writing emails, writing letters, notifying your neighbors of what's going on. I promise you, we can all go out here and talk to people that don't have a clue, that their heads are in the sand. And we're going to have a pretty epic 2026 as far as the economy. But if we want those midterms and we want to keep this going, it's going to take us, guys. And I promise you, we'll work every bit as hard as we ever have for 2026. How about this? Man, this is an embarrassment. We talk about California, but mainly we've talked about Washington, Seattle, Washington. When it comes to the wokeness, how they won't chase police, they won't chase bad guys. They don't do anything. Open air drug use, very similar to California or many parts of Oregon. And watch this guy. There's a guy in the middle of a freeway. I think this was on Christmas Day from what I am finding. Literally carjacks a female Washington State patrol lieutenant's vehicle on the I-5. This is embarrassing. Now, I'm not saying every woman that's an officer is DEI. By far, there's some great women out there that just weren't put in position because they had to fill a gender role. Take a look at this. This is insane. Let me pull this off here so you guys can see it better. Guys, going across the entire I-5 right here. Okay, there's the trooper right there. Look at this. How embarrassing. I don't know what to even think anymore. So when I think of police, I'm 47 years old. Like, there should not be a police officer, even 47 years old, if the officer's 55. He should be able to take me down. He should be able to subdue me at any time if I'm a bad guy, right? I mean, that's what we're paying. We've shown you some horrible ones when we were traveling. I was like, dude, I could beat this guy running backwards, and I hate running. But this right here was just horrible. The Post said, they did pull the guy over, or they did eventually stop the vehicle and arrest him. And it said the female lieutenant sustained no serious injuries and will not be reprimanded for the incident. I don't know. Is that what you guys want? It is bad guy could have used that vehicle and killed multiple people, caused an accident. That is insane. But that was my wokeism of the day. And we've been talking a lot about California weather. You've probably been seeing it on your local news, right? There was some good, some bad, and some ugly. I wanted to show you this video clip. We always seem to get this. There's some rednecks here like myself in California, and I want you to take a look at this one here. Check that out. That was on Christmas Eve. You don't get that now. If a cop catch you do that, you're in a little trouble. But you might as well enjoy it while you can, right? Go fire up the truck, boys. Some good times right there, but it wasn't good for everybody. As you know, we talked about this storm for over a week. Some places it packed a pretty good punch. Other places, I mean, from what I'm understanding, we got some great snow in the Sierras. And and we're gonna get into some of that here in a minute. You know what? This was in the wrong spot. Let me see. Yeah, that was totally in the wrong spot. But we'll get into the storms here in a minute. But before we do, we've talked a lot about Minnesota, the fraud. I guess, what do you expect America to look like? I don't want America to look like a foreign country. I don't want to travel. I don't want to go to another country and then come back to a town and it looked the same way. I want Western culture, the way we were raised. What makes America great is when people pledge allegiance to this. Well, we have the Minnesota Lieutenant Governor, Peggy Flanagan. She is now the front runner for the Democrat for the 2026 Senate race. You're not going to believe it.
Flanagan.
Again, we see this every time there's an election. The pandering is just incredible. Take a look at this.
Assalamu alaikum. My name's Peggy Flanagan. I am the Lieutenant Governor of Minnesota, and I'm really here with all of you today. I am incredibly clear that the Somali community is part of the fabric of the state of Minnesota. I think about my friendship with Nimco. We've been friends for almost 25 years. And when I think of being part of Minnesota and growing up here, the Somali community has always been a part of my Minnesota. So I want to just encourage the community to know that we're with you. We've got your back. I am here shopping today, and just encourage other folks to show up, support our Somali businesses, support our immigrant neighbors. And I know that things are scary right now. And just know that there are more people who are looking out for you. There are more people who are here to support you than you know. I will continue to stand with the Somali community to be with you and to do all I can to return the friendship and community that the Somali community has shown me.
Back in the day, that would be called cultural appropriation, but it's okay for Democrats to do it because they're pandering. They're putting these people that are committing fraud, that are absolutely not America first. We've played you people running for different seats, whether it's mayor, Congress. We've heard Ilhan Omar come out and say numerous things about how it was Somali first. These people are not going to put America first. And when you have somebody like that, I don't know. It's no different. It would be like me coming out wanting to get elected somewhere and coming out in blackface. There's no difference there. The pandering is beyond belief. And good thing that Trump is on board with this. There's a lot of fraud, not as much in California, but a lot of fraud in Minnesota under Governor Tim Walz, and the billions and billions that has been done by the Somali community. People, we've covered it. It's your tax dollars. It's your tax dollars. And this right here, this pandering, man. A person like that should never get elected. This is the United States of America. So yesterday, Trump put out a couple Merry Christmas greetings. We're going to cover just a quick one right here. And he said, Merry Christmas to all, including the many sleazebags who loved Jeffrey Epstein, gave him bundles of money, went to his island, attended his parties, and thought he was the greatest guy on earth, only to drop him like a dog when things got too hot. Falsely claimed they had nothing to do with him, didn't know him, said he was a disgusting person, and then blame, of course, President Donald J. Trump, who was actually the only one who did drop Epstein, and long before it became fashionable to do so. When their names get brought out in the ongoing radical left witch hunt, plus one lowlife Republican Massey, and it is revealed that they are Democrats all, there will be a lot of explaining to do, much like there was when it was made public that the Russia hoax was a fictitious story, a total scam, and had nothing to do with Trump. The failing New York Times, among many others, was forced to apologize for their bad and faulty election reporting, even to the point of losing many subscribers due to their highly inaccurate fake coverage. Now the same losers are at it again, only this time so many of their friends, mostly innocent, will be badly hurt and reputationally tarnished. But sadly, this is the way it is in the world of corrupt Democrat politics. Enjoy what may be your last Merry Christmas, President Donald J. Trump. Now, one thing that stands out is he said this, and I think he said this quite a few times, is there's people that will be in these files that are completely innocent, but will be destroyed just because they hung out with a businessman. And I think that's unfortunate too. I really do. These people were out there willing and dealing, employing people, but I also think there are some people in there that really need to be hammered hard. And I think you're going to have people from both sides, Republican and Democrat, but the hoax is the Democrats screaming for it. We just had 4 years of Joe Biden. They could have done whatever they wanted. They didn't do and scream about the Epstein files until when? When Trump's economy started taking off, when he lowered inflation, when there was positive things to talk about under this administration, they've went to Epstein every time. And hopefully something changes pretty quick, because it's going to be an interesting one. And really quick, guys, just to remind you all, we are 100% viewer funded. At the end of the show, we're going to talk about this. If we can raise the money, we will be going to DC for January 6th. If you guys remember, we've been there a few times on January 6th, including in 2021. And there's going to be some stuff going on in DC. And we were going to fly out the day before, hang out the 6th, and fly home. And I mentioned that to you last week. We got a donation from Cade Tex. Cade, thank you, Cade Tex. And so we got $50 towards it right now. So we're going to talk about it. I'd like, if possible, don't know how it's going to work, would love to get the tickets, this afternoon. They've already went up $80 from our last show before Christmas. But we're going to talk about that. In the meantime, if you want to help out the show, you want to keep the lights on, we appreciate your donations. And you guys know what the links are, so I want to say thank you. So let's talk about some of that weather, that California weather that came through. Take a listen.
Lights are out, and it just, yeah.
More rounds of rain still ahead this Christmas. Well, Chelsea, here in Van Nuys, we're enjoying a break in the rainfall, but we're still seeing some wet roadways. Joe will show you. This is looking over at the Sepulveda Basin. It is closed off tonight. This area floods pretty frequently, but out in San Bernardino County, the situation is intense. Tonight, desperate search and rescue efforts underway in San Bernardino County. A powerful Christmas storm unleashing dangerous mud flows through the mountain town of Wrightwood. Water, mud, and debris sweeping through streets, swallowing cars, and flooding homes. Authorities now ordering residents to shelter in place.
In the town center, It looked like a river. It didn't even look like a street anymore.
The Fletcher family hunkering down without power.
It's pretty dark. We have our Christmas tree.
The full extent of damage still unknown, as the town is considered almost inaccessible.
It's been tough for even rescuers to get in there. Roads in and out have been blocked by these mud and debris flows.
Whole cars being underwater and houses just being kind of destroyed by so much water.
Very dark. While shooting video of a power outage in Burbank, we suddenly witnessed a 3-car crash. Calling 911. Fortunately, no injuries. Everyone seemed okay.
It happened so fast, lights were out, and it just, yeah.
More rounds of rain still ahead this Christmas as search and rescue teams in San Bernardino County race against time.
Right now, we're still going door to door and trying to account for everybody that's in the area. I don't have any official reports of anybody that is missing at this time.
Oh, Chelsea.
So, there's that right there. And we got some other stuff to show you. Wrightwood, California was a mountain community. You got to expect this in mountain communities when we get downpours. But take a look at some of the different videos we got from there.
This goes all the way down.
Cars completely.
This goes all the way down.
So that was something else there. Another thing from San Bernardino. Take a look at this. Again, these people didn't have the Christmas they were hoping for, but this was some of that video. This was Christmas Eve. So, just Mother Nature at work, and the aftermath of this. They're starting to try. They got construction crews out there. Take a look at some of the debris pickup and some of the other stuff they're doing out there. And again, a lot of the other areas, there was flooding in LA, parts of LA, freeways shut down. Again, we have a horrible infrastructure here. Don't get me started on the infrastructure. It's California. We do have more rain coming in. I don't think the band of rain is going to be anything like this band. I don't know if any of you watched the Rose Parade, but that's in California. And there's an old saying, it never rains during the Rose Parade. Things might be changing this year. Things just might be changing this year. And speaking of California, I thought this was interesting. We talked about Minnesota being exposed for a lot of that fraud. And there's fraud continuing to be exposed daily in Minnesota. California, we know, we talked about it last week. We've been talking about it for a long time. Being a California resident right here in the heart of California in Fresno County, we're not talking about just the homeless industrial complex. We're not talking about the high-speed train, $18 billion we spent. Not one piece of track has been laid. We're not talking about that, but we're talking about everything else. How about this? An audit in California just found that the California Air Resources Board continued paying an employee $171,000 over a year after he left the department. Lauren Sanchez is currently the chair of the board. She was appointed by Gavin Newsom. There's so much mismanagement in our taxpayer dollars here. People say, oh, that's only 171. This is just an example of what goes on in California. Now, you might not say 171 because we waste billions, but how often does this happen? And of course, the California Air Resources Board, again, make a lot of unfortunate policy. They're not elected. They're appointed by Gavin Newsom. There are a lot of the reasons why we have some of the gas standards we have, why we are going to be probably paying $7 to $8 a gallon per gas in the next 18 months if something don't tragically change. And it's just crazy. Imagine leaving your position and still continuing to collect your $171,000 a year for the next year. Now, shoot, I'll do anything to collect $171,000 a year here in California because we got to survive, but that is just crazy. So we've had a war that we've been fighting. And when I say a war, I don't mean that kind of war, but kind of that kind of war. There's been an attack on Christians for quite a while, not just overseas, not just in foreign lands, but here in our own country. We watched as, they have defiled God and brought in, especially the Democrats, the far left Democrats, brought in their new religion. You can see them. A lot of them will wave the flags that stand for mental illness. And it's pretty obvious who these people are. Trump also had another Christmas message. And we've been talking about this over the last couple weeks and months, is the slaughter of Christians across the world. Take a listen to this. Trump posted this. Tonight, at my direction as commander-in-chief, the United States launched a powerful and deadly strike against ISIS terrorist scum in northwest Nigeria, who have been targeting and viciously killing primarily innocent Christians at levels not seen for many years and even centuries. I have previously warned these terrorists that if they did not stop the slaughtering of Christians, there would be hell to pay. And tonight there was. The Department of War executed numerous perfect strikes as only the United States is capable of doing. Under my leadership, our country will not allow radical Islamic terrorism to prosper. May God bless our military, and Merry Christmas to all, including the dead terrorists, of which there will be many more if the slaughter of Christians continues. President Donald J. Trump. So, again, little different from most presidents. Remember Obama's red line in the sands? When Trump says something, he means it. It's not a threat. This is called peace through strength. And on Christmas Day, on the birth of your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, he is out there protecting Christians. Take a listen to this. We got a couple different news clips on here to talk about this. Take a listen here.
And he says it's because Breaking moments ago, President Trump announcing a powerful strike against the Islamic State in Nigeria. Let's go back to Madison Scarpino live in West Palm Beach with the breaking details. Madison?
Yeah, Mike, President Trump says that strike was deadly, and he says it's because they've been targeting and viciously killing primarily Christians. Now, he just made the announcement on Truth Social saying in part, quote, "I have previously warned these terrorists that if they did not stop the slaughtering of Christians, there would be hell to pay." And tonight there was. The Department of War executed numerous perfect strikes, as only the United States is capable of doing. Under my leadership, our country will not allow radical Islamic terrorism to prosper. May God bless our military, and Merry Christmas to all, including the dead terrorists, of which there will be many more if their slaughter of Christians continues. Now, Mike, as many of our viewers know, this is an issue in Africa that has caught the president's attention for a bit now. He's previously lashed out on the country's government for having done nothing to stop the killing. His administration has even met with the Nigerian officials to discuss the issue, even threatening to cut off aid to the country. So some major breaking news on this Christmas night. We are expecting a lot of reaction from Congress, and we're following it all.
So that was one clip of that. We got two more clips that the way they covered this. And we even got video of it. This is what Peter Doocy said.
It's not like the United States is trying to start a war with Nigeria, but United States
is key. But I remember a month ago, that very government denied that there was even a problem in their country. So what changed?
Yes, the coordination with the Nigerian government is key because it's not like the United States is trying to start a war with Nigeria, but United States intelligence agencies identified that this is where the ISIS planners and this is where the ISIS attackers are congregating in Nigeria, a safe haven. And so they went and they took them out. In terms of past statements by the Nigerian president, part of that is obviously political, but it is a tough decision for a president of any country in the world to get a call from the United States, somebody at the Pentagon, who says, hey, you have a bunch of terrorists congregating somewhere in your country. We're going to come and kill them unless you tell us not to.
Yeah, and Peter, so I was looking just now at the United Nations social media accounts. I see nothing about this. Ambassador Mike Waltz has spoken out about it, but nothing from the United Nations. Where were other leaders, not just here at home, the previous administration or President Biden, worldwide, saying that, 18,000 burned Christian churches, 50,000 Christians persecuted in Nigeria since 2009? Where was the leadership before President Trump?
That's a great question, Griff, and it might speak to the struggle that the United Nations has had over the last couple of years at ending conflicts. And that's something that we hear President Trump and his team allude to when they talk about all of these world conflicts that Donald Trump has had a hand in ending since he came back into office. He's been back for less than a year. The United Nations didn't go anywhere. They've been around, and wars have started, wars have continued. And so that's a real problem that the UN has right now.
Yeah, let me share this really quickly, Peter. This is Ambassador Waltz. He said, Merry Christmas to the Christians in Nigeria and around the world who know tonight that the President of the United States will fight for them.
Now, of course, this is going to be twisted and turned against Trump. Oh, he's trying to start a war. He's trying to do all this. It's absolutely amazing that the warmongers have a problem. And the issue isn't going to be that Trump struck ISIS terrorists, radical Islamic terrorists. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do that he's protecting Christians, that he's looking out for Christians. And that will be, no matter how they frame it or what they do, unless you're Tim Walz. Tim Walz probably was like, just import them into Minnesota. Don't kill them, right? We've heard that from Democrats on the drug smugglers, that they want to house them, feed them, and send them to our jails instead of just destroy them for bringing so much fentanyl and drugs into this country. There's also another one here, or actually I wanted to show you this first. Take a look at this video.
Okay, we should clear and go.
If you got a new gaming system on Christmas, or your kids or grandkids, this isn't no gaming system right here. This is real life protection of Christians. Take a look.
Roger. And I'll be breaking out to the left. Put right on the greenhouses. You got to come on now. Come on, put that missile. Roger, missile's away. Good shot. Venture. Good hit. Okay, we should clear and go back. Target's destroyed. And breaking left, not to overfly. Impact. Roger. Breaking left. Viper 5-1, Roger. And if you could relay to Dragon 3-3, thanks for all this help. We enjoyed working with them. 526, well news. Thanks for your help today. Roger.
Man, some of the best technology, if not the best technology in the world. Just absolutely precise what our military can do. And then this one said on News Nation, I was listening to this. This is one of the ones that it sounds like Nigeria had confirmed that they fully cooperated with President Trump to strike the radical jihadists and to help halt the mass killings of Christians. Take a listen to this little news piece here.
Around 6 o'clock Eastern time tonight, about an hour ago, that President Trump announced that the U.S. had launched strikes inside of Nigeria, targeting and killing elements of ISIS in the northwestern part of the country. We don't know how many people were injured, how many were killed in this American strike. What we do know is President Trump says the reason the strike was launched is because he says Christians within Nigeria, as you mentioned, have been targeted, not just over the last year, but really over the last several years. He broke this news on Truth Social with a pretty lengthy post. I'm going to just read to you the back half of that post. He says, quote, "I previously warned these terrorists that if they do not stop the slaughtering of Christians, there would be hell to pay, and tonight there was. The Department of War executed numerous perfect strikes. Merry Christmas to all, including the dead terrorists, of which there will be many more if their slaughter of Christians continues." We also saw the secretary, Pete Hegseth, say, quote, that the president was clear last month. The killing of innocent Christians in Nigeria and elsewhere must end. He says the Department of War is always ready. So ISIS found out tonight on Christmas.
I love that. Found out tonight.
More to come, and grateful for Nigerian government support and cooperation. We know because we've confirmed with.
So you had the confirmation there from Pete Hegseth, Department of War Secretary, that Nigeria was in full cooperation.
A Pentagon official that the Nigerian government was working with the United States. There was approval, and they worked in conjunction on these strikes. So that is an important caveat to this story here. Just some background. In Nigeria over the last year, sectarian violence has continued to be a major problem. Tens of thousands of Nigerians have been either kidnapped or killed, both Christians and Muslims, targeted and killed by terrorist organizations like ISIS and like Boko Haram. In fact, human rights NGO International Society for Civil Liberties and Rule of Law says that this year alone, there were about 7,000 Christians that have been killed. Again, this has been ongoing essentially since 2009, when Boko Haram really established a foothold in Nigeria, Jessica. So we are seeing this killing, again, Muslims and Christians. But tonight, President Trump emphasizing the fact that Christians have been targeted and killed. He has been saying this for some time, that this.
And when Trump says this, whether it's you don't see Trump put out a post, a social media post, or get in front of the podium and say something that's just to say it, like we have seen before, a threat for that matter. He knows what he's doing. He knows what message he's sending across the world. And again, These people are horrible people. These people are horrible people. Their goal on earth is to kill Christians, take over westernized civilization. And I think that message was sent loud and clear. Another interesting thing that popped up, President Trump is expected to meet with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky in Florida on Sunday. We know that's one war that Trump continues to talk and say, I'm tired of people dying. These people don't need to be dying. We don't need to be shedding this much blood. He goes, he's mentioned you got two leaders that absolutely hate each other. There's no middle ground here. Take a listen to this little CNN clip.
It's envoys who are trying to resolve this conflict.
Put this up right here.
Another conflict we're watching very closely, Russia's war in Ukraine. We'd heard President Zelensky say that he's going to be meeting with President Trump soon. There's now more detail kind of coming together on how soon and what that's going to look like. Kevin, what are you picking up?
It's very soon. And what President Zelensky says is that he will meet President Trump on Sunday. So just in 2 days' time. The White House hasn't confirmed that meeting just yet, but it clearly comes amid some significant progress, the most progress we've seen in trying to bring the war in Ukraine to an end. President Trump just said recently that he didn't think it would be useful to sit down with Zelensky unless they were close to a deal. So this does signal some significant work has been done. Zelensky just spoke in the last couple of days with Steve Witkoff, with Jared Kushner, the president's envoys who are trying to resolve this conflict. The major sticking point right now seems to be those territorial concessions. Moscow and Vladimir Putin have so far not backed off their maximalist demands, namely that Ukraine give up the entire Donbass region. That is something that will have to be massaged with Zelensky. Also unclear is whether Putin has signed off to this multi-point peace plan that the president has proposed. So clearly a very important meeting taking place down here on Sunday.
So, you'll find other reports that Trump's at Mar-a-Lago on vacation or golfing, and he's actually meeting with a world leader on Sunday. I don't know if we're going to see any movement on this. I know Trump has pressured, excuse me, both countries and said, hey, listen, this has got to end. The killing, the slaughtering of these people, it has to end. So we're going to have to see how that goes. We know right now we still had ICE operations going on Christmas. There was some video I seen circulating. I'm not going to play the video. And we are still in a recovery effort. No matter what the economy looks like, no matter what happens, there's a large recovery because we got millions to deport before we can be recovered, and a lot of policies to change. And I thought this was interesting. We've covered this a lot. We've talked about it in California. A lot of things that people seem surprised about now, we've covered on this show because we've been on the ground covering the invasion and how Democrats cater to them and treat them like they are American citizens, better than American citizens, actually. Listen to HUD Secretary Scott Turner, how Democrat officials gave taxpayer-backed mortgages to illegals all over America. Now those mortgages are being closed. That's how you put America first. Take a listen.
During the Biden administration, there were over 12 million illegal aliens that came over the border, straining our housing supply and making the costs go up. And so we work with Secretary Noem at DHS, as you alluded to make sure that only American citizens are living in HUD-funded housing. We also,
I don't know why it's doing that,
took away FHA-backed mortgages from illegal aliens during the Biden administration. They turned a blind eye, but we're going to keep the law to make sure that these mortgages, which are backed by the taxpayer, go.
So anyways, I don't know why
to the American people
in particular. So they're taking away the FHA-backed mortgages that you are funding as taxpayers from these illegal aliens. We told you time and time again this was going on here. We had a local Assemblyman, what's his name? The one that beat his child. It's not popping in my head, but wanted to give illegal aliens, what was it, $25,000 for a first-time down payment for their home. And that didn't go through so well because California didn't have the money. They would have done it if they had the money. And now we've also talked about what jobs are these illegals doing to make so much money to buy homes? Because I was told they were just picking vegetables. Who's going to pick your crops? That's what we hear all the time. It's been proven that they're doing jobs that Americans love and have done for centuries. American truck drivers, teachers, superintendents of schools, daycare workers, all these things. And just recently, Secretary Duffy, Transportation Secretary, put a lot of these states on notice because they're illegally giving licenses, CDLs, to people who are in this country illegally, who have overstayed their visa. Those are jobs. We got plenty of truck driving friends out there. And what it does to our truck driving friends out there, you know what it does? It lowers their wages. There's a ample supply of truck drivers. These people are willing to work for a little bit less per load. They're picking up those loads, which these companies are sitting here looking like, if they're paying this much a mile, we're going to move it down. We were paying this much. And it's really hurting. I thought this was, if you haven't had your laugh today, just understand this is how bad we are in the United States right now. There's 20,000 criminal illegal aliens suing the Trump administration now that they've ordered California to revoke their commercial driver's license. Yeah, I said that right. Take a listen to this.
November 6th, the California DMV notified 17,299 immigrant drivers and business owners that their non-domiciled CDLs, that's commercial driver's licenses, would be canceled on January 5th, 2026. That's just days from now due to an error with the expiration date of the licenses. A similar letter was sent to an additional 2,700 drivers in December, informing them that their licenses would be canceled in mid-February. For all nearly 20,000 immigrants, the DMV intends to cancel their commercial licenses without any affording opportunity to obtain a corrected license or to contest the cancellation. The lawsuit reads, but let's remember the deadly results of allowing illegal immigrants not only to cross the border and be released in the country, but then to give them work authorization and commercial driver's licenses to operate 18-ton trucks, 18-wheelers on our roads. Here's a list we can show you going all the way back to this summer in Florida. The illegal immigrant trucker killed 3 attempting to make that illegal U-turn. And back in October, another killed in a truck driving incident. In California, they've seen a number of incidences, to include in Ontario, where 3 were killed. And just last month, you had in Oregon another horrific incident that killed 2 after a truck jackknife. And then just weeks ago in Tennessee, a Chinese national kills 1 by causing a deadly multi-vehicle pileup. In Washington State, you had an illegal immigrant trucker failed to decelerate and killed 1. And you know what's crazy is in those last 2 incidences, the Chinese illegal truck driver and the Indian illegal truck driver, those crossed in 2023 in Lukeville, Arizona, where I saw the.
Can you imagine that? Imagine being in a foreign country. You're there illegally and you're going to sue their government because they're not allowing you to work. Is that not insane? Is that not that's where it's clown world, folks. It's absolute clown world. And we know we have Democrats fighting for illegal aliens. They've lied forever. They don't commit crime. We're showing you all the crime, all the death every day. A lot of these gangs in California and other places. Well, what are they? Oh, many of their members are illegal aliens, but they don't commit crimes. Listen to Debbie Wasserman Schultz right here. I thought this was interesting. Again, not wanting to deport people. You just can't make this up. This
means taking care
the
of
Democrat Party
Trump
has really dug their heels in on transgenderism for all, illegals ahead of American citizens, high taxes. You know, they fought Trump on our tax cuts. We got a bill that's getting ready to take place. Today's the 26th, so in 5 days, Trump's one big beautiful bill officially takes effect. Most people will be seeing a reward when they go file their taxes this year. It's pretty obvious where the Democrat Party stands right now. You don't see them outside of jails checking on American citizens. They didn't care when J6ers were in the gulag being treated like absolute trash. They didn't. They said, no, they deserve to be there. But you detain an illegal alien, many with criminal histories, you put them in an ICE facility, and they're knocking at the door. Democrats are there each and every day saying, hey, let us in. Let us in. We want to check on the conditions, while they're literally 8 miles away from a jail with American citizens that are being treated like trash. Here's more proof of that.
Most popular issue is immigration, and the undocumented immigration that he says is a violent threat to our nation, when most people who they are deporting are not criminals and are simply here who are being rounded up. 2 weekends ago, they rounded up 200 people just by stopping lawn care trucks in the neighborhood right near my own home. Is that who we fear in this country? Or is it that we want to make sure that we keep this country safe and that we can focus on America first? To me, means taking care of people at home and making life affordable when it comes to rent and healthcare and utilities.
And I'll interrupt her right now. That's what it's actually doing. The reason why we have a housing crisis is because we have probably 35, 40 million illegal aliens in this country that are taking up American citizens' housing supply. When you have a large, vast number of vacant homes, your pricing goes down. We've actually seen, for the first time since deportations have started, 4 months in a row, and not by much, but rent has went down 4 months in a row. The first time in like 15 years. And the reason why is because policies are working. You think about supply and demand, your goods, everything you buy on a regular basis, an illegal alien also buys. When supply and demand, when that demand goes down, the supply goes up, the price comes down. It's very simple. She did say the number one issue is immigration. Well, I would say it's illegal immigration. And then we'll say second is immigration, because we allow a lot of people who hate this country and who hate everything we stand for, and we bring them in and put them in college and give them welfare and taxpayer dollars. That needs to come to an end completely. What was it? Over 60, was it 80%? I'll have to look, of Somalis, that even the ones that came here legally are on some type of government assistance, SNAP, EBT, whatever you want to call it. This is crazy, but listen to her.
And ensuring that Americans can keep the better life that they deserve, not have Trump go after people and waste millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars deporting people.
Wasting hundreds of millions of dollars deport. It's not a waste. These people, when we were at the border and we were showing you thousands upon thousands coming in a day. Go back to our X if you're new and you haven't seen it. We spent probably 5 months on the ground at the border, sometimes in Mexico, Texas, Arizona, showing you this invasion going on our southern border. And that's not cheap. They didn't have a problem with that. They didn't have a problem with Border Patrol becoming Ubers and sandwich makers and water deliverers when there was fentanyl and other drugs flowing right through our southern border, wide open. And now that Trump has sealed down that border, and there's still a little bit more to be done, we don't have that issue no more. What was it, 7, 8 months in a row? Not one person that crossed illegally was released into the interior of the United States. That's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be. I thought this was funny. We're almost to the end of the show. Take a listen to this, because, I don't know how y'all feel, but it seems like the day after Christmas, you look around, you're like, can we get all this stuff down now? It's a little cluttered in here with all this Santa stuff. Take a look at this here. Come on.
Tis the season to deport 'em. Fa la 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 la. We love ICE and we support 'em. Fa la 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 la. Send them on one-way vacations. Fa la 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 la. Tis the season to deport 'em. Fa la
Oh,
la.
man, 'tis the season. Justin Gooder says here in Oregon, on the Oregon-Washington border, 90% of truck drivers I load are Middle Eastern men that don't speak English. That's an issue. You want to drive on our roads, you need to learn the language. Secondly, and there's another thing. I actually want to do a program on this. I've actually been recording some video. If you know these delivery apps that many people use, whether it's Uber Eats, DoorDash is really big. Walmart has a delivery thing if you're one of those Walmart Plus members or whatever they call it. And there's another one. I'm trying to think of what the one we used when we were on the convoy so we could get stuff delivered. Instacart. It doesn't matter where you live. Go to a window or a place where they do Instacart, where they do that DoorDash, whether it's Taco Bell, McDonald's, all those places. Go film for 5 minutes on who's doing all those deliveries. And it's exactly what Justin Gooder just said. Hardly any of them speak English. And they have taken over. Me and Rachel were talking about this. She actually used to do that part-time. She would do it from like 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Before my show started. One of her jobs that she was working, she'd go out and do that. And she's like, I just can't do it. They're overwhelmed. She's like, all these people are lined up waiting there. They're rude. They don't speak English. And even the Walmart employees hate them. I was like, interesting. And so there's more to the story than what Democrats are leading you on. And I think a whole lot more is going to be exposed over the next few months. And we're going to be talking a lot more about California. And I think they're going to shine a light on some of the fraud here. Minnesota is a baby when it comes to their fraud compared to California. So as we said before, we are going to see if we can get the money to go to DC for January 6th. There's going to be a march with some great patriot groups from Ellipse Park to the Capitol, the same march that happened January 6, 2021. And so we would like to get there and document it. We were there on January 6, 2021. I think we were there 2022, 2023. I don't think we went 2024 or 2025, if I remember, but we went down there a few times. And there's going to be a large group. I've been looking on social media, a lot of great patriots that were there on January 6, 2021 that are going to be showing up. Just to give you guys an idea, Cade Tex, thank you so much, did a donation on the 24th, $50. So we're $50 in right now. And if I look here, most of any trip, this is what I say, and the longer it takes us to buy the thing, this thing goes up like crazy. But the only direct flights are now up to $879. That's American, the direct flight to leave on January 5th and come back January 7th, so we could be there for the 6th, is $879 right now. That probably be more tomorrow, unfortunately. But if you guys want to help us out, I would appreciate it. If you guys want us to go down there, we want to get down there, bring you some Oreo Army on the ground coverage down there. So if you guys want to help out, we would appreciate it. We have all our donation links that will be coming up here. Again, at this point, we are $829 away from getting that ticket. Thanks to Cade for his donation. And we will see you guys a little bit later. The donation links are coming up on the board. We will be back for a second show, even though it's Friday. And want to say thank you to everybody tuning in. Have a blessed new year too. Get those resolutions in order, guys. We'll see you soon. God bless.
Thank you, Renee. Renee donated $100. Thank you.
Don't hide and we don't second guess. Unapologetic, we're bold and we're loud. Shining light on the left shady crowd. Oreo Express, rolling down the track, exposing the lies, ain't no turning back. Conservative fire, we're speaking the truth. At Oreo Express, this one's for you.